Hey, what's doing, bro? Feel free to keep scrolling. I'm not going anywhere. This video is going to stay here as long as you don't refresh your For You page. You can always come back to it. But you're staying. And I'm glad you're staying.
Here's what busting nuts is doing to your brain. Try to last till the end. Most guys can't. Every time you trigger your brain's reward system for quick relief, you're teaching it that comfort equals escape. That small moment of release feels harmless, but neurologically, it's a high-speed dopamine surge. Your brain lights up like it just achieved something extraordinary, even though nothing changed. Over time, this rewires your motivation system. You start chasing stimulation instead of purpose. You lose drive, focus, and clarity because your brain begins saving energy for shortcuts. Psychologists call this reward prediction error. The brain starts to expect dopamine for minimal effort. That's why discipline feels harder. Why real goals seem boring. Why connection feels distant. When people practice abstinence or self-control, they're not just fighting urges. They're retraining their dopamine baseline. They're forcing their nervous system to find reward in challenge instead of comfort. And when that rewiring happens, motivation returns. Energy rises, focus sharpens. It's not about rejecting pleasure. It's about remembering what it feels like to earn it.
There is absolutely no benefit. It wastes your time, your energy, it drains you. You don't actually enjoy watching it. It is just an escape to your life. You're not smiling when you're watching that, but you are distracted from everything else. So remind yourself of that when you have an urge. But the most important thing to overcoming lust or a porn addiction, whatever it may be, because the emotion of lust is so strong, you need to have something in your life that has a stronger emotional pull. A specific goal that has enough emotion is probably the best way to go about that. But if you don't have that yet, because if you're watching this video, you're struggling with lust, meaning you don't. Use nostalgia. When you're a kid, what did you want? What dream did you have? Nostalgia is a great emotion to overpower lust, because if it's strong enough, it will. That thing you've been thinking about recently, you've been thinking about starting, that business that might retire your parents, the emotion of seeing them retired, of being a proud son, or a proud daughter if you're a girl watching this. That emotion is so much more than the emotion of watching pornography. And you'll start to see when you shift your emotions, you shift your values, you will start valuing in woman what you value in yourself. You won't just be looking at their eyes. You'll be looking in their eyes, looking into their soul, seeing if she can support you on your purpose. I think that's the best way to overcome lust. There's cold showers, push-ups, all this type of that needs to last. There needs to be a stronger emotion. You cannot overpower emotion with logic. There needs to be a strong emotion behind it.
You know, I locked myself in my room for a year, basically. A year. Because I was at the point where I was like, listen, it's either I'm gonna make this work, dude, or I'm going down burning in flames. Like, I'm gonna make this work or I'm going down burning in flames. A year, bro. I didn't go out. I didn't really answer friends' phone calls. People thought I was crazy. I look like a mad scientist, bro. I would come out of my room every once in a while, just get water and get food. But honestly, I had to do that, bro. It was a little bit drastic, but I had to do it, man.
Block them. Delete the messages. Delete the photos. You know what you need to do. Stop living in the past. You're never going to heal if you don't allow yourself to. The first step is doing the obvious thing. You have to heal. You can't miss them for months, and then that turns into years, and eventually a whole lifetime. At a certain point, you choose whether you move on or not. The time will pass anyways, and eventually, one random day, you won't think about them anymore. It just happens. You put in the work and they eventually leave your mind. You're going to feel, you should feel and grieve, but you should never try to intentionally grieve. Just do it. Pull the trigger. You need to heal.
Every single second that you do not fall into lust is a win. Go distract yourself. Go do something else. Go put your energy elsewhere. Count the days that you are able to go winning against lust, and understand that less frequency of degeneracy is improvement. Just because you break your streak, just because you fall into temptation once again, it doesn't ruin everything. Less frequency of degeneracy is a win in and of itself.
Here's how long it takes for your brain to heal from gooning and watching porn. So you probably think you're going to be able to fully recover in 30 days, and that's not true. After watching and gooning for years, for months, it destroys your brain and it rewires your brain to crave constant dopamine. So after doing that process for years on end, your brain is completely destroyed. So here's the actual timeline of what's going to happen when you quit gooning. For the first week, you might notice you start feeling empty. You feel a little bit depressed, a little bit numb to the world. And the reason for that is because your dopamine baseline is all the way up here and it's slowly starting to go lower and lower, and you're not getting these huge dopamine hits to hit that baseline, and that's the reason why you might have that little bit of like an empty, numb, almost depressed like feeling. After the first week, that feeling will begin to fade and you will begin to feel a little bit more confident, a little bit more happy. You won't feel like more happy than normal, you a little bit, but your emotions will be more stable. You'll be at a happier level, more stable, because your baseline has lowered, so now you're getting standard dopamine hits, so you might feel like you want to work more. You might feel more joyful when you do little things. You just want to become more successful. After that period of about 2 to 4 weeks, that's when your brain is truly starting to heal. So after 1 month, that is when your brain begins to go back to where it should be. It begins to hit its normal levels. So after around that 30 to 60 day mark, that is recovery mode. That is where you need to be super cautious and make sure you don't back to that addiction you have, gooning and watching porn. And if you can beat that 30 to 60 day and get to that 90 day mark, your brain has basically fully recovered. Your dopamine baseline is back to where it should be. That overstimulation in your mind should be recovered, and you will no longer be addicted to porn or gooning or whatever it is. So you just have to make it to that 90 day mark about to fully heal from porn. And of course, longer effects, like if you've been doing it for years, there are chemical, you literally have chemical imbalances because you're an addict basically. So it might take closer to a year, but you will start noticing the biggest changes around that 90 day mark. So once you get to that 90 day mark, you are basically fully healed from porn and gooning.
I mean, you want to sit here and be mad? Well, then let's talk about it. You sitting here mad at the world when you did this to yourself. And you keep on doing it to yourself. You're never going to learn unless you accept accountability. You're never going to learn until you stop blaming others. This is on you. You need to take accountability and you need to change your life, or else you're going nowhere. You hear me? You're going nowhere. You're going nowhere unless you change. So change.
Brother, understand that most people lose the day before it even starts. Here's a 4-part morning flow to be locked in by 9 a.m. Number 1 is a no input morning. That means no phone, no notifications, and no inbox. I give my brain at least 30 minutes to boot up before the internet taints my mind. Number 2 is activation through motion. Take a walk, stretch, or do some light training. Doesn't matter, because it's not about the workout. It's about telling your nervous system that we're awake, we're sharp, and we're ready to get things done. Number 3 is clarity on paper. Every morning, ask yourself a single line. What is the one outcome that I can get today that brings me the most progress? Not 10 plus tasks, not a bloated to-do list, just one thing that moves the lever forward. And number 4 is to prime your focused work. That means clear your desk, set a timer, and put your headphones on. This ritual is the switch, so that by 9 a.m. you're already producing instead of just waking up.
6 months of consistency, exercising, meditating, eating clean, learning a new skill, taking cold showers, believing in yourself, trusting the process, that will take you to a completely different place, mentally, physically, and financially. You only need 6 months.
The longer you stay on the wrong train, the more it costs to get off, and the further you'll be from home. And no, we aren't actually talking about trains.